Yeah, so now I did it correctly. Hello, I'm Joost. I'm your moderator for today, and the current speaker is Zaid Zaim, who hardly needs any introduction in this space. But anyway, he's a good friend of mine. He is spatial computer expert at Ignore Gravity. I like that name, in Berlin, Germany. He is quite a prolific speaker and a fellow MVP as well. And he's going to talk how mixed reality and the metaverse can benefit the dental industry. I wonder how that is going to work. Maybe will my dentist put on a headset while he's drilling into my cavity? I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure Zaid will tell us. Zaid, take it away.
Hey, Joost, thank you so much for the amazing introduction. And I just realized that you are going to be my moderator. It's a great pleasure to be here. Yeah, and thank you very much for the invitation. It's an honor to be part of the Global XR community. And celebrate this momentum together. And I would like also to extend my kudos and celebration to the two amazing people behind this. So Alexander and Zaskia. It's amazing to be here. And let's celebrate this momentum together. So the topic I will be talking about today is reimagining so how we can use immersive technologies to make the dental space, the dental sector also benefit from these technologies. So this is a project I started, I think, 1 year ago. Exactly. Like 1 year ago, I met a dentist in Dubai. To that, I'll come in a bit. Exactly. So let me maybe begin with a short introduction. What I do. Exactly. So I work in Berlin. I'm based in Berlin. I work for a consulting company called Ignore Gravity. So Ignore Gravity is a consulting company. We develop leadership programs to support enabling an agile working environment to employees in their leaderships. So in this case, when it comes to gravities, or like Ignore Gravity, or gravity basically means each person, when we want to open up a conversation with, has certain challenges that prevent you to or enable you to do something. So we open up a conversation. We learn about the challenges that this certain leadership has, and we try to encounter this together, to ignore this challenges and gravities that this person has. And in July, we started navigating our area in the spatial computing field. So where I joined the company, and yeah, so like dentistry or healthcare is also one of the pillars we are navigating in. And this is what we are going to talk about a little bit. So I'm also a Microsoft MVP for mixed reality. It's amazing to see here when my one of my fellow MVPs used. Exactly. As an MVP, I love interacting with tech and developer communities on a local and global base. So this is like a glimpse on the momentum. I love enabling other developers, other tech interested people to get started in this field and touring the world and bringing this field closer to developers, designers, and tech interested people. So this is like a glimpse of what I love doing. Exactly. So I love beginning my talks with a mixed reality rocks. So yeah, so let's rock it together and get into it. Um, so how did things started? So I'm coming from, as you see, like I'm not a dentist. I'm not coming from a dentistry background. Um, yeah, I'm coming from the AR VR space. I love tech. I'm passionate about computers, gaming, you name it, and I actually have nothing to do with dentistry. So last year I was speaking at Jitex Global in Dubai, where I think I remember Microsoft launched during that time in October the HoloLens 2 technology in the region in the Middle East and Africa, and I was speaking about mixed reality. I think specifically it was the other topic close to my heart, which is cultural heritage, and speaking about the potential of mixed reality and its applications, throwing a live demo always. um, and yeah, I had the exciting opportunity to meet with a dentist. He's called Dr. Khaled Hanouna. One of the realized later, one of the that he is one of the like leading dentists in the region in Dubai, and he was very curious about the use case as I presented on cultural heritage. He was very inspired about mixed reality and the HoloLens, and this led us like to go deeper in the conversation. Okay, so how can I basically use mixed reality in dentistry? So, and then we started like digging together into potential use cases. What are the benefits of mixed reality? And we have done like a mini hackathon at his clinic, like 3 hours. So the demo I will be showing in a bit, like is something we developed in, I think, in 3-4 hours, but it's more like a vision or a visionary approach that I would love to share with you today. So it's everything like work in progress. So exactly. Um, exactly. So this is how things began, more or less. And yeah, so like this was the kickstart of our story. And like a quick introduction also, what is mixed reality? This is like the very famous hummingbird experience we used to try out in our very first mixed reality experience. So what is actually mixed reality? So when it comes to mixed reality, we usually have these two physical worlds, or these two worlds that we can interact with. So the physical world and the virtual world. So in the physical world, or in between these two, like like yeah, between these two worlds, there are subcategories or sub sub realities. We usually refer like or two important ones that we interact with most likely in this area is AR and VR. And what is actually reality? So to me, reality is everything what we can interact with from our real environment with our human senses. So that always initiate our human senses, that we can feel, that we can see, that we can hear. This is, to me, is everything that we perceive from our human senses is actually reality. And so when it comes to mixed reality, we have, as mentioned, like different realities in the continuum. So AR and VR. So in AR, we enhance the real world with digital content. So like one of the famous examples for AR is the game Pokemon Go. For example, you can just take your mobile and then you open up the camera, and then you get you enhance, or you enhance the physical world with digital content. In this case, the famous Pokemons. Then the user can interact with these digital objects via his mobile screen. We also so in AR it is only like an overlay of the digital content and the physical world. And in virtual reality, so there is a lot different technologies, different devices. um, I think when we mention Meta Quest, this definitely rings a bell when it comes to virtual reality technologies, devices. So you give a user a VR headset, Meta Quest, for example. He wears the device, and then he is then completely beamed into like a virtual world, virtual computer generated worlds, where his consciousness is completely focused on these digital environments. So there is no more interaction with the physical world in this case, when it comes to like a standalone VR experience. But today we see technologies like, or devices like MetaQuest 3 are already also supporting mixed reality experiences through their pass-through features. So which also allows us to have an amazing immersion experience. So when we blend these two realities together, AR and VR, we come back to mixed reality. In mixed reality, is like the bigger umbrella Microsoft refers to. We have here as an example the HoloLens. I'll come back to that in a bit. So in mixed reality, we enhance as well the real world with digital content. But the HoloLens, for example, has depth sensors on the surface that allows the device to recognize the environment. And with that said, it creates also a replica in the background of the physical environment. And then with that, we can integrate basically digital content into the physical world. So you can like grab a mug, grab a cube, or for example, and then integrate this directly into the physical world. And compared to AR, we are not anymore talking about an overlay. We are really integrate. So these digital objects are becoming real parts of our environment. Exactly. So this is like a brief introduction about mixed reality, and now like there is more devices supporting this feature. But to me, like the HoloLens was an highlight because you can just wear the HoloLens as if you are wearing, a real like a glass headset, you name it. You can easily see the real world. So this is an example how we interact with digital content. So when we use HoloLens, we don't have any controllers or something. So everything is happening via hand tracking and through the sensors that the device has on its surface. Exactly. So yeah, everything is like all interactions are happening very naturally, um, and without any controllers, and this unlocks additional use cases to apply mixed reality on. So we have remote, like, favorite use cases applied that frequently used in mixed realities. For example, remote service and maintenance and healthcare. So imagining, for example, one day you are an engineer working in Germany, for example, and you have another friend or another engineer working in a factory in China, for example. So, and this other engineer is having like a lot challenges or problems with a machine in this factory. So he can like wear a HoloLens, for example, and then together, so he can wear the HoloLens and he can see the environment. He's hands free, and he can like just call his fellow engineer via remote assist or a Dynamics 365, for example, and the engineer just beams into his world. So, and then the engineer can, open can support him or her to, yeah, better navigate and come to a faster solution. And here, like, the engineer is completely drawing spatially the instructions to the user, to the other engineer what he should do, and hands free they are coming to a solution much faster, and of course saving a lot of money traveling from A to B. We also see big momentum in healthcare. So in healthcare, imagining like a dentist or like a doctor um, wants to explain, let's say, to his patient something, and it's always like challenging to give a good visual or a good explanation or imagination to a patient. Yeah, and I think through collaborative mixed reality experiences, like a patient and doctor can together walk through what the doctor is going to proceed on or the procedures that the doctor is going to do on his patient. So exactly, and also like on an operational side, the doctor can usually anchor these certain digital content like CTs or certain operational plans that he's having, and then guided directly via mixed reality, he can operate much faster. And these two topics actually inspired us a lot to also navigate or think about how mixed reality could be applied in dentistry. So when I met with Dr. Khaled, um, one of the challenges or the goals we align on were basically we want to find a way to accelerate the doctor's capabilities when he operates on his patients by integrating different and various interaction possibilities and visualizations. So the main challenge that we identified here is, of course, like, this could differ from doctor to doctor, and some doctors might see it's not very useful. Is basically when a doctor wants to operate on, or when the dentist wants to operate on his patient, he usually projects the X-rays, for example, directly on the 2D screen, and he is then directly interacting with the 2D screen, explaining what is happening. Or, for example, he holds then a DVT and um, to try explain it. So he's at the same time, while he's explaining, he's interacting with different physical objects, and this could lead to like, we want to find a way to prevent like navigated or prevention of infection. So and usually a patient, when, let's say, when the dentist is operating, let's say on um, on the patient, he has the 2D screen, and so and he's at the same time operating on the patient, and sometimes he's usually like changing his perspective, and this could lead also to like some nervous, so could make the patient a bit nervous, and could increase anxiety. So and then what we are actually thinking of is basically we want um, to reduce the additional interaction possibilities with physical objects in the dental workspace. So we want to find a way to digitalize, bring all these X-rays and these 3D scans, usually referred to as DVTs, digitalize them, bring them into mixed reality, so the dentist can also still see the real world, and then like he can directly operate on the patient. And for example, using mixed reality depends from a patient to patient. Some of them are always a bit curious what's happening, so you can always, for example, project what is happening into an additional screen, and allowing the doctor to the patient to see what is happening. Additionally, there is also like great momentum toward education. So like if we want to support educating certain like nurses, for example, we can always so with mixed reality or with HoloLens, it has the camera on its surface, and you can always demonstrate what is actually happening to the nurse directly on the patient. So you can turn on the camera of the HoloLens and project it on a, or take a, say, or save the video, so you can directly navigate together and support educating your team what possibilities are happening. Exactly, and why actually we are using mixed reality, because the doctor usually so we can always see the real world, so the environment, and like in emergencies, or let's say something happens, you can just uplift the visor and then you're back in the real environment. Also, we thought a lot, okay, why don't we use technologies like Quest Pro, but might be a bit challenging because of as the reality is being rendered through cameras, for example. So and this like could be a bit concerned, I would say. Like imagine you're operating on your patient and then directly black screen, blackout, you name it, you can't see anything. So exactly, like a fallback in mixed reality, the advantage is here that you're always seeing what's happening in the real world, and then you can act immediately. Also, dentists are always on the peak when it comes to um, upgrading their work environment. They want always to be innovative, and on the latest updates of tech. So exactly, and this is also like another motivational factor why I would love to further embrace such momentum with this group of people. So enough talking. I would love to show like a mini demo we've developed. So again, like this is something I created like in 3 hours, but only giving an overview what is possible. So visualizing this idea we discussed before, and I would love to have your feedback also. to see if there are people who are interested to collaborate, or I'm already like in contact with different dentists. So yeah, so it's work in progress, and was like the very beginning. Here the like the first person view from the HoloLens and third person view while the doctor is operating. I completely admit there might be a bit of here explaining on the X-ray directly without interacting with any additional physical objects in the room. So completely replacing all possible 2D screens and bringing all the content we usually want to view into mixed reality. Here, of course, I admit there is some work to be done regarding UX UI, and here directly operating on the patient. And when it's done, we are back here in reality. So yeah, so like here we saw basically the different possibilities of integrating the different dental assets, bringing them to life in mixed reality, interactive, and of course we can think more and more further how we can make the experience more seamless. So one of the things we've been discussing is imagining like we make um, um, like a content management system. So imagine like, okay, each patient, he visits the dentist, and then the doctor wears the HoloLens, and then at the same time he can choose the file virtually, and then we get all of his dental assets to explain more and more. So this example that we saw in the video was like a bit of applying mixed reality on the operational side, but also we can apply this on the consulting side. So before or after the operation, we can also think of to give the patient a bit more overview what is happening. So like imagining we have a collaborative mixed reality experience, and then the doctor can also walk the patient step for step what is happening, or through different visualizations and interactions to give like the patient a closer glimpse what's happening, rather than only like a conversation before or after the operation. And yeah, with that said, I hope basically with that we initiate a momentum in mixed reality and in UAE or in Dubai, bringing mixed reality into Dr. Khaled's clinic, Magic Styles, to be one of the first clinics applying mixed reality. And one of my highlights is when I love going around the world, and I love interacting with local developer communities. So here, as part of GITEX this and last year, I love hosting developer hangouts to interact with developers, get their feedback on certain ideas or projects we're leading. Celebrate this field, this space together with the local developer communities. Exactly, and also like a very but like a very motivational factor to me also for this space. So my sister is becoming a dentist early next year, early 2024, and hoping together with her, for example, to further grow in this area. seeing momentum on her end to innovate in mixed reality. And yeah, basically through her network, I will be diving to meet many dentists in this space. And I'm already in contact with different clinics, doctors, and we want to, yeah, hopefully shape something together in this area. And yeah, so yeah, that's it pretty much. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'm more than happy to answer some questions if there are.
So, well, that was a very nice talk, Zaid. I really liked the picture of the Dubai Maya HoloLens 2 launch because I can very much dig watching you speaking while sitting in a luxury lounge chair instead of sitting.
That's good.
That looked like really comfortable. Were they handing out cocktails as well?
Yes.
Yeah, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you shoot that hummingbird movie? Because that's in the HoloLens, but I didn't see any background. It was like it moved to a background
Yeah, I
because
will. I'll
that's
DM you. I'll DM you.
okay. Because that's in the setup of the HoloLens, and you
True.
can't do anything with. So you have to have the track. Yeah,
No, true.
I really liked the
It's
healthcare angle.
used. It is an MVP secret. Please, I will DM you.
Okay, okay, okay. I understand. I
Yeah,
understand. Yeah, I really like the healthcare angle because, yeah, well, I'm working in that myself these days. So
yeah.
I read that you work in the operating room. Do you
And
envision?
to me, like used to, it was also like a very big challenge. You probably know my Palmyra project or the cultural heritage project. It was
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
to me on a personal base a big jump. Like I've never made something in the dental space or in the healthcare area, and now like jumping from cultural heritage to preserving historical assets,
Hmm.
applying mixed reality in dentistry. So
Yeah.
to me, it was like on a personal base, very challenging, and yeah, I was very excited to go on such adventure.
Yeah, I think that's very helpful. Because you said, yeah, it was just a work in progress, but you also said it was only 3 hours of work. But
Yes,
really, the idea of floating a model and floating I think it was an X-ray thing, that little blue screen in front of the
exactly.
dentist,
Yeah.
that he only had to flick his eyes up and down instead of when I get drilled into my head. It's like they have to turn around and look again and turn around and look again. That's not very. I
So
mean, this is a very simple but effective way to show it. Do you envision that expanding on this, for instance, projecting the a 3D model on the actual tooth of the patients?
of course, like this is one of the topics I'm currently thinking on is basically so the dentist usually creates these 3D jaws or DVTs they call them.
Hmm.
And the plan is basically, of course, like usually he interacts with, so the dentist usually interacts with these DVTs on the 2D screen, on a touch screen. This is like
Hmm.
very challenging to interact with. And that's why we are bringing these into mixed reality in first hand to enable like free interaction possibilities. And then, of course, thinking about the possibility to anchor them directly in the like virtually in the jaw of the patient, and then directly like operate and see like additional hints or guidance
Hmm.
where and what the dentist has to operate. But
Yeah.
here I think also there is like a bit of it depends always like a bit on the accuracy of the technology of the HoloLens. So the dentist doesn't want to have like this DVT is shifting, so there's sometimes a bit of challenge thinking about the technology, how accurate it is, but this is like of course one of the big aims to anchor these data and interact directly on the patient himself.
Nice. Yeah, you don't have to tell me if that's secret, but is your company planning to productize this, or is this?
Well, let's see. So currently, I'm taking these opportunities
Mhm.
to basically, in first hand, to see if there is actually resonance around the topic. But until now, I only like I got happily like good feedback. But of course, like as soon, for example, my sister is done with her studies, I would love to see like to do more toward yeah, going maybe toward a product or something, and growing together with my organization with Ignogravity and in this area.
Yeah, your sister looked like a pretty badass, actually. Yeah, it's also very handy to have a well, if you're concentrating on dentistry, to have someone who will very soon be a dentist. Also, there's a horrible
Yeah,
shortage
I
of
mean,
dentists.
yeah, and you need to think about one fact, like dentists are rich, so it is the best it's the best
Yeah,
niche to scope on. So
yeah. Well,
dentists,
there
huh?
also there is also a real shortage of dentists, at least in. I have one final question: how do you always
Yeah.
get invited to all these beautiful events all over the world, or is it also an MVP secret?
Uh, well, like be cool, be active in the community, and yeah, I always told you like let's do something together, and
If you,
yeah, be cool, just apply. Sometimes you get invited, so yeah,
yeah, like now. Okay,
yeah.
I don't think
For
there are.
example,
Yeah, I don't think there are any more questions. So if you don't have any closing words, I am just going to thank you for the session and start the outro.
yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. It was very nice to meet you here, and big kudos to the organizers. Always a big joy to be part of such an amazing community. Yeah, and I would say let's meet very soon, used on a virtual coffee. It has been a while.
Okay, yeah, let's do that outside of this video. Thank you, Said. Bye bye.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye, everyone.